The late 1960s and early 1970s were a time of profound cultural change. The Vietnam War, the civil rights movement, and the rise of feminism created a climate of unrest and questioning. Young people, in particular, were looking for new ways to understand themselves and the world around them. Many turned to alternative spiritualities and mystical practices. These offered a sense of mystery and wonder. Witchcraft, with its ancient roots and association with nature and female empowerment, held a particular allure. It offered a rejection of traditional authority and a celebration of personal freedom. This resonated with the countercultural spirit of the time. People were seeking new ways to connect with the sacred and challenge societal norms. Witchcraft, in its various forms, provided a compelling avenue for exploration. The growing interest in witchcraft was reflected in popular culture. Books on the occult became bestsellers. Movies and television shows featured witches and magic. Music, too, began to reflect this fascination with the mystical. Artists, inspired by the occult revival, incorporated witchcraft themes into their lyrics, imagery, and stage personas. This was more than just a passing fad. It was a reflection of a deeper cultural shift. The embrace of witchcraft in music was fueled by a desire for something different. Rock and roll, initially a rebellion against societal norms, had become somewhat predictable. Witchcraft, with its air of mystery and transgression, offered a way to push boundaries. It provided a fresh well of inspiration for artists seeking to break free from creative constraints. One of the most prominent examples of witchcraft's influence on music is the band Coven. Led by the charismatic Jinx Dawson, Coven embraced a theatrical and explicitly occult image. Their 1969 debut album, Witchcraft Destroys Minds and Reaps Souls, featured chanting, satanic imagery, and even a 13-minute track called Satanic Mass. While controversial, Coven's music tapped into the growing interest in the occult and demonstrated the power of witchcraft as a musical theme. Another influential figure was Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. Nicks's ethereal vocals and mystical lyrics on songs like Rhiannon and Gypsy resonated with audiences. Her stage presence, often adorned in flowing robes and shawls, further cemented her image as a modern-day enchantress. Although Nicks never explicitly identified as a witch, her music and persona drew heavily on witchcraft imagery. This resonated with fans who felt similarly drawn to the mystical. Section 4. Spellbinding sounds, albums, and tracks steeped in mysticism. Beyond these prominent examples, numerous other artists incorporated witchcraft themes into their music. Black Sabbath's heavy riffs and dark lyrics often touched upon occult themes. Their self-titled debut album, released in 1970, is considered a landmark in heavy metal music and features songs like Black Sabbath and NIB that explore themes of darkness and the supernatural. Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page, a known collector of occult artifacts and admirer of Aleister Crowley, infused the band's music with a sense of mysticism. Songs like Stairway to Heaven and The Battle of Evermore hinted at magical realms and otherworldly journeys. Section 5. Echoes of enchantment, witchcraft's enduring influence on music. The influence of witchcraft on music in the late 1960s and early 1970s was significant. It reflected the cultural shifts of the time. It also helped to shape the sound and imagery of rock and roll. While some dismissed it as a passing fad or even condemned it as dangerous, the use of witchcraft in music opened up new creative avenues for musicians. It allowed them to explore themes of mystery, rebellion, and personal power. The echoes of this era continue to resonate in contemporary music today. Artists like Florence, Plus the Machine, Zola Jesus, and Diamanda Gallas draw inspiration from the mystical and the macabre. They carry on the legacy of witchcraft in music. This demonstrates its enduring power to captivate and inspire. The trend of witchcraft in music was not simply about shock value. It was a reflection of a search for meaning and connection in a rapidly changing world. It was about tapping into something ancient and powerful. The music of this era continues to enchant and intrigue audiences. It serves as a reminder of the enduring allure of the unknown.